gonna be it for your boy today. So yeah, but
We'll see. I can see.
yeah, but anyway, man, what's good besides that? What's I mean, I know your week. You said your week's been crazy. My week's been crazy. Um, how's things been going for the most part though?
I mean, it's pretty copacetic for the most part, as far as just like whatever has to get done. But I am looking forward to the progression of like just, I guess, the travel season, because like just do something a little different,
Mm-hmm.
break it up. Obviously, I'm looking forward to like Emerald City. It'll be my second time, two terms, Obama
Right,
coming
right.
back for the second time and seeing how that turns out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hopefully the weather is pretty decent, because like the last time I went last year, it was actually pretty good. Like compared to what I've heard, usually around that time, it was actually like way better than what it normally would be. So I'm hoping for that same thing versus like super chilly, super depressing and rainy as it always is,
Right.
or something worse like snow. So hopefully none of that is the case, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. He's echoing. What's up, Squiggles? Like
Yeah,
he's like I don't know why he's echoing. That's weird. He shouldn't be echoing.
who,
So,
me?
yeah, I think you're. I think you were saying you're echoing, but like I don't know why that would be. Like it seems like your volume is pretty much up. So
Yeah, my volume's all the way up. I mean, I guess it depends on what he's listening to. Like if he's listening on IG as well, I don't know.
okay. Oh, it's just barely noticeable, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but no, it's just been kind of crazy stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for you for Emerald City. I told you like what happened with C2E2 with me, right? The whole thing where like
Yeah.
I didn't get into C2E2, but like they asked me to submit to the authors thing. So yeah,
Oh, Author's Lane.
yeah, they asked me to submit to that, and I'm like, okay, sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna get into that because I have a comic book and not a book, but you know,
I mean, I just get, well, yeah, because I'm not in that position, but I just get the space either way. Because like, I know when New York happened, several of my colleagues like they wanted to go to the show and they got waitlisted as well as I did at the time. And basically, we were all thinking, like, okay, let's kind of parse out our options and see if like there's other routes. And basically, we decided to apply for a booth.
right,
And man, I don't know like what it was about it, but like I was kind of like, I almost felt like it was not worth it in the end. Even though obviously like I have my own table, I think when I look back at like the table they got, I was like, okay, but this is basically like a slightly step up for like an artist at a singles table. So it was almost supposed to work because it was like I think one, two, three, four, five of them at one
oh, they were all
quote
crammed.
unquote booth.
They were all crammed at
Yeah,
the.
man. So
Oh
it's like,
man.
yeah, so there's like less room to be able to like showcase the stuff. Granted, it's not like they had like a ton of stuff, but they all had banners and they all had like posters and prints and stuff. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
they had to like really maximize the space, and that's the biggest thing. It's like it's not the fact of like being all at one place. It's just like having to, you know, economic or ergonomically or whatever is the term, uh, divide the real estate. And it just sucks because like for the initiative is what we call ourselves now, I guess, as like the milestone people. If we get like something set up like that again, it would definitely have to be, I guess, a limit on how many people are there, but also to kind of ask more for like a premium like option. Like, is there like a bigger space, because like that was not as advantageous, and plus like where it was located, it was okay, but it wasn't as good of a spot. So I don't know. But anyway, I say all that because either way, it was still worth it, at least I guess, to like see if there's an option for a space if like they got waitlisted, and they did that. And I think from what they told me, it was still like decent enough to like apply for. But
Hmm.
next year, depending on how like if all of us who apply for New York, whether we get in or not, we'll have to weigh that option, because like I like the idea of us like going to different conventions as that kind of like that group names. Like, hey,
Yeah.
even though like DC doesn't have to like spotlight us anymore or anything, they don't always that. It's just kind of nice to like they kind of allow us to kind of gauge our blessings. Oh yeah,
I mean, like, I think that name, the initiative, is pretty cool though.
Yeah, I
So,
like it because it honestly reminds me of like the firm,
right,
but that never was really went anywhere. So I was always one of those things like, man, like just imagine if like it actually went somewhere.
right. Also, yeah, Squiggles. I played. I have Tekken. I have Tekken 8. So, you know what I'm saying? I was playing that for a little bit. But yeah, man, like, with C2E2, um, like I said, if I get into there, if I get into the thing, that'll be dope. I also look at it like the other way I look at it is basically if I get into, if I don't do that, I'm gonna still try to submit to New York. I know New York is like less of a chance, but like, it is whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. These monks are killing me.
Speaking of which, did you ever get a chance to like check out the Black Comic Lords channels?
I've
Like,
still not checked it out, man. I got into a conversation with well, not even a conversation. It was like this guy. He I think the thread was like basically who what guys are what comic publisher, what independent black comic publisher has the best chance to like be the next dark horse or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you know, everybody put out they suggestions. A lot of people bigging up they stuff. But then like, this one dude, he said Black Sands, and I like all I said was basically like, look, um, you know, granted those guys look okay, or those guys, they apparently sell books. Okay, cool, but like the problem I have with them is like I don't see fandom. For as many books as you sell, you don't have like fandom. You know what I'm saying? Like you should, like, for as long as you've been around, you don't have new titles and you don't have fandom. And like that seems like those would be the biggest things. And yes, Squiggles, I seen that Cody won the Rumble again. Um, that was a fun little thing. But yeah, like the dude just kind of jumped down my throat about like, oh, you see the Shark Tank thing and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I mean, that stuff is cool. I'm aware of that stuff, but like, where's you got to have like some sort of. I feel like in order to do what you're talking about, you have to have some sort of like fandom, some sort of like groundswell about your characters or anything. And people know the name Black Sands, but they don't know any of the characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you see the same books like advertised, and I'm like, the dude does his thing. You know what I'm saying? He sells books apparently. You know what I'm saying? But I just that was just my personal thing. But the guy just like kept harping on it and tried to show me their site and all this other stuff. Look what they doing. It's like I I don't know what you're showing me here. You're not showing me like. And then I gave him examples of other people, other comic companies, other black comic companies that like are making some moves, like Godhood Comics or Concrete. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like those guys are doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like
yeah,
you see like, and it's not just hey they're bigging up their stuff. It's the fact that other people are saying, yo, we need to check for Concrete. Yo, we need to check for Godhood Comics. Yo, we need, you know what I'm saying? Like people know about the antagonists. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you know about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like those guys are like are genuinely making moves. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I'm not saying like those the Black Sands guys are making moves, but I'm just saying that certain things are debatable. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I just it's just a personal opinion, and I don't, and I'm not making any weird accusation or anything like that. But sometimes I just think that the math don't be mathing, and I don't know where to take that hypothesis. So oh, so no, Squiggles basically like because as you can see, Charles is like drawing scrap and stuff like that. So we were talking about. I was in a Facebook chat or a Facebook post, and on this Facebook post, this guy was talking about, or they were talking about, which of these indie black publishers, black comic book publishers, are going to be a bigger name, and or like a bigger name, like a big. It was a company years ago called Dark Horse. Well, actually, Dark Horse is still around. I don't know why
I
I'm
was gonna
saying
say
that.
like the way you talk about Dark Horse,
Yeah, like no, Dark Horse is still around. Why am I saying that? No, but anyway, there's a publisher called Dark Horse. They work with DC Comics and like they do other stuff, but they're like kind of like an off-brand shoot of DC Comics.
their name says it all.
Yeah,
Literally, like Constantine
yeah,
is
they
Hellblazer.
yeah basically is a
So
that's kind of their thing. But they did Constantine. They did like some of those other like obscure comics and stuff like that. But anyway, uh, they were talking about who could be the big publishers. I commented on one guy's post who said like this company called Black Sands is they're doing he's like they could be the next big thing and they're valued at $1 million like because they were on a show called Shark Tank like a couple of years ago and like Kevin Hart on the show said I will invest $500,000 into you guys but I guess
half Kevin,
yeah
half full Kevin.
yeah
Thank for half because you are half.
but
I'm somewhere someone's made that joke.
someone's made that joke but what happened is basically like from what has been understood and like inferred is at some point or another when Kevin Hart was going to invest this $500,000 into this Black Sands guy um, he kind of pulled back for whatever reason. I don't know what reason. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any accusations or anything like that. But like he pulled back and was like, I'm not gonna do it, and the deal fell through. You know what I'm saying? And so, uh, but the long and short of it is, basically the guy could say, hey, I was on Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying? And so, but the thing was, this guy that I was talking to, he was like, man, those guys are gonna be the next biggest thing. And I said, like, basically, in order for you to be the next big thing, you need a fan base. And the way this is the basic formula, is you make a product, you make a product that generates interest, and from that interest, you get a fan base, and that fan base helps you grow the product to generate interest to create an additional fan base. You know what I'm saying? And then that fan base helps you that it finances your product. You know what I'm saying? That generates interest to create fan base. It's kind of a cycle thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I see like I don't see fan base. I don't see I see a bunch of guys that like that you know will buy the book once and then don't come back, or they'll buy or they'll say, hey, I'm supporting because you know in the struggle, whatever type deal. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get people that come back, and so there's just a very weird thing there, and it's just like you've been doing this for a while, and he does have his supporters, he does have his people that like do stuff, but like there just doesn't seem to be like an interest beyond the name Black Sands and beyond the name of what they do in their comics or what how they sell their comics. They'll be like, hey, we're Black Sands Entertainment. We're selling these comics, and it's like the same like 10 books. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just a thing, but yeah, it's just a weird thing, and like hopefully you got all of that. I just saw that you typed I'm back, and I'm hoping I didn't just do a diatribe to nobody, but yeah,
He is the ether.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but it's yeah, but basically Black Sands. Long story short, Black Sands Comics is or Black Sands Entertainment is a independent comic book company, and they've been around for probably like 7 or 8 years. They made a lot of money. like selling comic books, but like their fan base is not. Their fan base is particular, but like also weirdly non-existent. Like people buy books, people buy their books, and they buy their like they'll sell like these we have 10 issues of whatever, you know what I'm saying, like I think it's their signature series, but then that's it. Like they don't have any 10 new issues, they don't have any new characters, they don't have anything, but like they're supposed to be the next big thing, and that's what they tell everybody, but like you don't see them growing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes it's one of those things where it's like the company itself is, as an independent comic book company, they're they are not they're known, but like I want to say that they're not I don't know, how do you want to say it? They're not like, they don't have traction. They don't have traction of yeah. No, Black Sands, like Sands, like like yeah, but but yeah, but anyway, that's how you spell it. But I don't know, man. It was just a weird conversation, and the guy was like, he was ready to die on the hill for these people, and like, I was like, dude, do you work for them? You know what I'm saying? So and in that particular Facebook group, I think the Black Sands guy is in there. You know what I'm saying? Which will be hilarious because I'm sure that he gets super sensitive about like anybody saying a crossword about like his brand or whatever, and you know he likes to attack like a lot of people. I don't know,
Yeah.
like they just
Omega Collectibles had a question. It says, "How's it going, man? Can't wait to see you at ECC." Hey, Omega, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to myself. To be honest, like it'll be coming up like at the end of this month, so very soon. But yeah, I feel like I need to do more promotion and kind of like shout outs towards it. I've just been kind of like busy trying to focus on getting this issue done. But yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to people. Hoping to see a lot of people that I saw last year as well. Like everyone who showed up definitely, uh, gave me a lot of support. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, man, thank you for joining and watching the stream. Just working on the page right now. Is talking with my boy Fred, and yeah, we're just chopping it up over here. But again, thank you for joining in. But yeah,
yeah
man, I hear you. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't have too much of an opinion on it, mainly
yeah
because like I know enough about like Black Sands Entertainment and like what has been done, what they've tried, and kind of like where they've gone, or I guess lack of gone. But for me, it's like, I mean, if something happens, something happens. But it really hasn't like swayed or upset me one way,
right.
or I'm not really as interested because like since like you said, there hasn't been as much. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know why acumen came to my mind. That's not the right word. But there hasn't been like a lot of like fanfare as much right now. So until then, it's gonna be the same conversation
Right, and
in
that's
all
really
circles about it. So that's just kind of where it sits for me.
yeah, that's really what it is. It's like that's kind of how I look at the guys too. So I'm just kind of like, it just kind of is what it is. But they chose that name. Oh man, they chose that name Black Sands Entertainment. I don't know, like it's just what they chose. Like the main story that they have is like it's kind of like uh, a rip off of I don't say a rip off. It's very derivative of Avatar, but it's like the main characters are in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I
yeah,
can see that.
but it's very much it's you like if you read it like I think I've read like or seen like the first thing and it's very much very similar to Avatar, but like not like the best parts of Avatar. You know what I'm saying? So
So
that's
the
the
main hero is someone who goes on hero's quest to
yeah
conquer any genre for the most part, and
right.
then has friends along the way, makes new friends, found family, and there's a goal of obviously stopping an impending force. And then there's kind of like a crux of like a crossroads decision that needs to be made about his decision of having to face that enemy, and has to make a decision on what he'll choose or how he'll go about it.
Yeah, there you go. All of that.
Okay. like I said, I've never read it myself, but it's I've just seen, you know. And in my mind, it's funny because like I was recently, I don't know if I voiced this out somewhere or if I just said it like online somewhere, but like for instance, like the idea of like Egyptian mythology and even just like the surrounding like visualization of it is how some of it's a lot of it's appropriated, some of it's bastardized in different ways. But I don't know why. Like in my head, I love the aesthetic of the Egyptian um, imagery, and especially when it's used like in a good way in a lot of things.
Right.
I'm actually kind of like hoping, and we'll see. We'll never know, but I kind of like okay. So God of War, I'm actually like really kind of almost like upset that like the direction they're going with like the new series. There's actually going to be like a Netflix series, and it's like basically surrounded around like the new reboot, quote unquote, the Norse mythology, which is awesome. But it's the fact that like okay, we're not even touch on the ancient Greek stuff because that basically that would have been like a Games of Thrones esque like very mature like 300 plus like God of War series, and I wish we could have got that in live action, but we're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I don't like is that I kind of feel like they've been focused so far. We don't know where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Balrog and that whole team, Santa Monica Studios, they basically put it to where it's like, all right, Kratos has a son.
Right.
And I've always liked the idea of like, Kratos like his past, like with the killing of his daughter and his wife, like that whole thing in his past and it's haunted him. And the idea of him moving forward out a new film, that's kind of okay, but I just kind of hate the fact that it's becoming like, I don't know, it's kind of getting a little Disney-fied. Like, I don't know if you played the game at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, anyway, I won't spoil
I've
it.
only
But
seen I've only seen the clips. So
okay.
like I'm generally up to what's happening on God of War. Um,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
basically, the whole thing with like his son is that like he's getting older and like he's coming into his own. And it's just like this weird part. And, like it wasn't the worst. There's like this key part. Basically, he becomes like Peter Parker, not
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man per se, but just the idea of like, all right, dealing with like interrelational like dramas like with girls, because like there's this part where like he's like going on a date with this one girl figure, and there's like another girl figure. It's like, ooh, maybe I have two girlfriend interests. Like that really like bothered me, and it was irritating, but I get it. It's
But
part of
that's
the
not.
story.
But you're saying they're doing that in God of War?
Yes.
That's different.
Yeah, you just look. If you look at the clips, it's weird. It's like it's like a whole like sequence, just like hanging out with this one girl, which a
Like.
lot of people were upset about because like it's one of like the Norse gods
Mm-hmm.
from like mythology. I think her name is pronounced Angrboda, but they changed it to be black, which I had no problem with,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. But they were just irritated about that specifically. My other thing was like, man, when I was playing through that series, it was like, oh, this is painful. I get it, I'm no longer a teen, but it's like that whole teen angst and just like with love, tension, and whatnot. It's just I was like, okay, give me Kratos slaying pantheons. The reason why I even said all this whole thing is because like I was hoping, and I think they maybe allude to it. I just wanted the God of War series to be Kratos slays another pantheon. And yeah, I think I remember when I was talking to you about someone was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna get boring after a while. I was like, stop. It's
Kratos.
like when people talk
Kratos.
about like
Because there's so
it's
many.
like
Like that's
do
the.
you think it's like
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, it's like I don't know. I get it, like the idea of like wanting to see something different, but like sometimes you just want to see the same thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I just want to eat a slice of pizza. I don't need anything like super new. Just like give me
Sometimes,
meatloaf.
sometimes you just want to see Godzilla basically destroy buildings. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Key Energy?
Exactly.
But yeah, sometimes that's what you
And
want.
so my biggest thing was like that's what I expected. It's like, oh, God of War, he faces the Greek pantheon, slays them all. There's a story behind it. That was the key driving factor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's like, finding his like self like solace in like the Northlands of wherever it is they're at, like, Norway, or pseudo Norway. And he's
Right.
finding himself and he's dealing with like the reconciliation of like, his past and working through that and obviously have a son. Awesome. But eventually I want to see him kill Odin. He did that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're gonna like move away from this pantheon, then I want to see the next pantheon. What is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Egyptian gods? Is it gonna be
There should be
gods
like,
of India?
yeah, there's a bunch of
Who
pantheons.
knows?
And see, that sometimes I just feel like that's laziness on like developers' parts because there's so many
No,
other
I don't care. I don't care. I just want.
yeah, they're just like there's so many pantheons, man. Like You know what I'm saying? Like that you can go everywhere with and go crazy with. Um,
Yeah.
so I am eating. This is it's like an Indian sandwich. It's like cheese aloo veggie sandwich or whatever. But like it's like grilled cheese, but like with pretty much like it was a grilled cheese with like vegetables, but like the cheese is a little different. So that's basically it. Um,
Seeing food online, thirst trapping people
right.
with the streams.
Mm-hmm.
I actually know there's one artist friend in the community. You probably know about like it's funny. She'll post like thirst traps about food,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like so tempted, like you know what? I want to start a competition. I'm gonna start posting like really just delicious food with no context, just online for steak.
Hey, sometimes that would be a thing. I don't know if you remember that thing back in the it's like way back in the day where everybody had to take pictures of their food and
Well,
like
yeah, but that's more like outing stuff. I'm talking about like if you're like at home, it's like just
mm-hmm.
or like yeah, if you went to like a gym or something and someone cooked something. Like this particular person posts stuff that like their family members cooked. It's just guys like, yep, it's Thirst Trap Thursdays. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, mm,
Yep.
looks so good. But
Yeah.
no,
But going back to the God of War thing though, um, yeah, man, there's like a pantheon, man. Like there's so many pantheons out there. You know what I'm saying? And like so many cultures have their own pantheon of you know just gods, and it's just like
yeah,
you could open up like a whole new people to a whole new culture of different gods
yeah.
that they could go through. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I
And
can
like
understand to a certain degree where like, okay, you just fighting gods for the sake of fighting gods. Like, what's the nuance about it? Because I get it. The reason why like the fighting the pantheon of like the Greek uh, gods was compelling because obviously Kratos had a vested interest of personal matters, whether it's obviously being betrayed by Ares and then
mm-hmm.
being used and then feeling slighted and very petty stuff, but then eventually it culminates in killing you. He's like, no, you guys are the reason for like all the suffering. Like you guys need to, you guys are wrong. And, even though like his perspective maybe was skewed and
Right.
slathered in hate, and then they started to deal with that in like the new one.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, look, I'm done with that. I'm not trying to be involved in that. I'm an older man. I like the idea of like kind of like the line from like what was it The Sopranos, like I was on my way out, but then they kept pulling me back in.
Right.
And just that whole idea is like, listen, I'm trying to get out of this game,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a reason. Like I even thought like, man, I hope they kill his son. I hope they just give him a reason to say, okay, no, all gods need to die.
Hmm.
And even like dress up even more compelling reasons behind that other than just like revenge. It's like, okay, no, it's not just because they killed my son, but something else. Because again, like yeah, if you're gonna introduce another pantheon, give a reason behind like, because ultimately we're supposed to see the pantheon as like they're wrong. They're not only just like evil, they're powerful, but also like there can be nuance too. Because that's another thing too. Like uh, in the original God of War series, Athena was seen as an ally.
Mm-hmm.
And although like she still like kind of carries herself as like a god who's above like man, she still like kind of picks herself as like she's what's the word I'm looking for? She's sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like okay, we appreciate that like she's trying to help Kratos, and she doesn't stand for everything that Zeus does, but ultimately she's still a god. And I kind of like that. And they never, what? That's another thing too. Like who knows? Sometimes like when there's like abandoned plot threads or like possible plot threads, sometimes if they're compelling enough, it's like, yeah, I do want to see where it goes.
Right.
Now, obviously, there's some things where it's like, it'd be nice to know, but like, I guess it doesn't matter ultimately. For me, that's like the big eternal that's like peering out of like the Antarctic. Like, I hope they never answer that because like I find it
They're gonna,
hilarious.
they're gonna,
Usually, everyone cries about it.
they're gonna answer it, and they're gonna talk about it in Thanos or Thunderbolts.
Oh
I mean,
man, oh Thunderbolts,
yeah,
yeah,
they're
it's
gonna.
the most like unexpected, unwanted place, and just like a one-off. It's like, oh, they had an Arctic. It's like, oh, I guess they're making a museum around it. I guess it's new, but I guess we're gonna deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Just a fart joke of an explanation, as they've always done.
Yeah. Then
And for me, that would be hilarious. Cause I'm just gonna look around the theater and it's like,
right.
and just
So Squiggles like people think Batman can beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It's like I don't I, because he posted some people think Batman could beat Kratos. And it's like, uh, no, not in a hands up fight.
Sure, absolutely.
But then they'll
What
just
do you,
say, but it's
yeah.
all prep time. Everything is prep time. You know what I'm saying? Because
What are you prepping with? Like that's another thing too. It's like it doesn't matter if you have all the time in the world. What are you prepping with? What does that mean? What are you setting traps?
right.
What is he, a bear? No, this is figure out.
Yeah.
Like prep time. You act like he's like cooking and roasting a chicken. It's like
Hmm.
this is like fighting a literal god.
Right.
I mean, granted, he can be killed. He's been killed multiple times, but the idea of like, what do you have to offer?
But
Like,
Batman's
first of
fought.
all, a lot.
Batman's fought
Like,
gods.
I like seeing Batman too. Like in situations like I don't need to fight this person. Like I don't even want to be here.
Hmm.
I'm looking at you, the writer. Like Batman's like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna no. I'm just gonna sit this one out.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, let's go back to like everybody's favorite hero in the world, Plastic Man. There was literally an issue, and I forget like what was the series where it's like Batman says one line that I don't really care for, but apparently some people feel like it's the most important thing to always recite. But it's like who are they fighting? I think it had to be one of the Crisis on Infinite Earths like events. But basically, they were like looking to because Plastic Man needed to be like unfrozen or summoned from somewhere because they're using like some type of containment thing.
Yeah.
And Batman just like drops the line. It's like if we're not careful, like he can kill us like all of us, including Superman and blah blah blah.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, that's obviously the writer saying like, you know what, I want to give justice to Plastic Man because I think it's fun, I think it's cool. There's the fleeting the minority that like him and want to see stuff like that. Fine,
Yeah, they're gonna hold on, but people are gonna
that's
hold
fine
on
with
to
me.
that. Just like they hold on
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
just like they hold on to anything with Squirrel Girl. You know what I mean? And like I think Squirrel Girl's hilarious, but like I'm in on the joke of Squirrel Girl being a joke character. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm totally okay with that. You know what I mean? But no one is seriously saying, "Hey, Squirrel Girl is like this completely overpowered character." And but like you said, they'll hold on to like stuff like Plastic Man and say that this was this was the thing that like sent them everywhere. You know what I mean? This lets you know that Plastic Man is like god tier level, or as our boy Rob likes to say, beyond Omega level. You know,
yeah.
so yeah, that's that's always fun.
I almost want to see like more comics of like the one above all, but like not in like a ridiculous what's the word I'm looking for satirical way, but like serious. It's like okay, let's go there. Let's pull in this thread. What is that? Does the one above all like at one point just goes and say, you know what, fine, I'm going to break the source wall and show you what's behind it. Like just do something like on that level,
Mm-hmm.
or just like what, for this whole issue, we're gonna do a 6 issue run of like the one on ball is like ends like you know DC or Marvel comics for just like a week. It's like I'm just pause. It's like
Right.
something. It's like and there's like multiple pages on the comic book where it's just like black or white pages like blank.
Yeah. Wait. Like
It's like I
you
have
keep
no
flipping through it, and it's like,
yeah
wait, you're still here. So
yeah.
that would be funny.
And it was basically on that level, especially if it like gets too comedical. It's basically a Deadpool book, but it's like it's that idea of like, okay, let's see, because I kind of like the idea, and it kind of gets a little corny, but I think overall, I still appreciate moments like it, where it's like there's like a issue like where Fantastic Four like crossed over into like the real universe, and like Stan Lee or Jack Kirby's like drawn or whatever, and like he talks to him. It's kind of stupid, but then like he asks him like, or Jack or who was it? Reed asks him like something about like, wait, so you're the one who creates this and everything? He's like, well, yeah, I have that power. It's like, what do you mean? It's like he basically takes his eraser, he like kind of erases part of his face, and he's just like disintegrates, and it was like, it was like, okay, okay, fine, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Comics have definitely gotten to the point where it's like you have a number of people who kind of like the meta textual commentary, and you have some people where it's like they just start up in arms, like, okay, stop, enough,
I like I I like it. I like
And
it
at the
with
end of the day,
certain
it's like,
characters.
well, what do you want?
Right. I like the metatextual stuff with certain characters because it's like it makes the book fun, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, that's
like,
what Deadpool is for. That's literally like I almost feel like Deadpool is all in like metatextual spite, especially with the whole thing with like, okay, it's basically Wade Wilson, let's let's do it.
Right.
For Marvel, we're obviously poking fun at the competition, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but at the same time, we're like, yeah, we're gonna do that,
Right. And
but
so
only for like certain characters. Like you're not gonna see like Lobo and DC like turn out to be like that. Even just wisecracking and it's like too sensitive to the main man.
mhm.
But anyway,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's what I like I said, I just like stuff like that like cuz for certain characters it's just super fun, man. Like, you know what I mean? And just like I just would rather have that um just to break up the monotony cuz like
no, absolutely.
yeah, cuz like I can't cuz like if everybody's dark and serious, then nobody is. You know what I mean? And then on top of that like the other thing is um I'm always I'm always thinking in the context of like here's uh here's this fun like here's these fun characters that you can do like just really goofy stuff with. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why like more recently like I've been like going through and like doing stuff with Byte Division, um, and like just been working on like telling really fun stories that I can just like be meta with, but I can actually like do dark stuff with. You know what I mean? So that's kind of been a interesting, fun thing for me. Like more recently, like when I've been driving, like I just been thinking about like, oh, let me do this, and you know what I'm saying. Like I had a like, and I don't mind telling like just the premise of this story too much, just because it's like it's
Stolen.
yeah, I know, yeah, but no, it's just like I wanted to create a situation where you had the the kids they find what's basically a techno organic house, and like the techno organic house is actually like it its whole purpose is to serve as like think about like how Venus flytraps work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where they like they lure in their prey with some sort of sweet smelling whatever, and then like
yeah.
basically they get absorbed into the thing and don't leave. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but yeah, it was just like I wanted to do that, but like obviously take it to a level where it's like you know basically kind of a kind of a like techno organic thing where it's like this house is it creates it does things it creates like you know kids to play with these kids to make them feel like safe or whatever, and then like but then the kids start asking questions like where are the parents at, like you know what I'm saying, like are your parents coming home at any time, what's going on, this and this, and then it just like kind of spirals into this weird thing. You know what I mean? So but stuff like that, like you could just have a lot of fun with like just weird stories like that. I'm very interested in like like having. I'm very interested in doing stuff like that just because I think that would be kind of cool, like within the world of Byte Division. Um,
Yeah.
and Squiggles asks, "What's your opinion on SSKTJI and Batman's death in that game?" Oh, Suicide Kills the Justice League. Oh,
So I was
um,
like, I didn't know what that was.
yeah, I was like, wait, what is that? No, I didn't, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know he died in that game. Like, but then again, like Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Um, I was turned off on the fact that I found out it was a live service game. So I was like,
Well, what do you mean live service?
it's a live. So did you ever play Marvel's Avengers?
No.
Okay, so the live is the live service model is basically like you're basically kind of doing like the arena stuff, but like at the same time you're paying for skins, you're paying for weapon power ups, you're paying for all this stuff, and I mean you
Pay to
can
play.
yeah it's pay to play, but you're
So what if I don't want to like upgrade anything? What if I just like
yeah
love
then
these
it's just
basic
like
arenas?
there's like yeah you can get the stuff you can get that stuff, but it takes like way fucking longer to do it,
Oh,
and
that's fine. I'll do that. Whatever's free, I'll do it. I don't care how long it takes. I'm not gonna
yeah I
pay
just
for something that like
yeah but like I and like that's the whole thing is like we're gonna have like they're gonna have like all these skins and stuff like that, and I was just like, because that's what made me angry about Marvel's Avengers. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, well, also the game was kind of trash, but
Yeah, because as I was about to say, I never played it, but from what I saw, it's like
the game was
it
kind of trash. It
it
was
looked
like
fun.
it just the way they did a lot of stuff, it was just really bad. And then on top of that, like they're like, oh, we're gonna add these new characters in there, like because they would have character packs that you could buy for like $9.99, like every couple of months that would come out. So they did like a Black Panther one, they did like a Spider-Man one. The Spider-Man one was so bad though, and I think it was just bad because like you can tell like the way they played it is they just kind of half-assed like Spider-Man swinging and his
Yeah.
fighting and his webs. They just half-assed everything, and like especially
Well,
when
even
you
the Iron Man flying looked very like underwhelming. It's like after like seeing like the what was it, Real Engine like demo,
yeah
I was like, that's what I want. That it better be at that level. If it's not, then no, I'm
right
good.
right and from what I understand it was not that, you know what I'm saying, and so between that and like when you get the characters like Hulk and like Hulk is like he's fairly nerfed and like not
Yeah,
like
that's
and not interesting
that's yeah.
and like another I think the other thing was like everything kind of revolved around like Kamala Khan and like but Kamala Khan's power set was like I mean it's actually her OG power set is
Yeah, the
but like
stretching.
but it was like really bad and awkward, you know what I mean, and so it was like but you gotta
I don't understand. Like, here's the thing. Like, okay, going back to the whole like Kamala thing real quick. The fact that they changed it, and it's like almost kind of interesting. I always wonder like what is the legend behind the action? The fact they changed the power is like okay, it's
I
not the worst thing in the world,
I've
but it's
always
like
said there
okay, we all know that it was in service of the fact. Well, wait, well, Mr. Fantastic has stretching powers,
yeah and that's really
so
that to me that's what it'll
yeah. But
always be.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Two things. One, for them to come out and say it's like, well, they never came out and say that was the reason why specifically, but we all know that.
Yeah.
Two, they did say they're like, well, we figured it'd be more interesting, especially since like stretching looks weird. It's like, we've
Nope.
seen it before. I don't
Nope.
care if you like crap on those franchises. We saw it in the FF like the original one, like with Jessica Alba, all those two movies. And I guess the second one, I didn't really see too much of a difference. Even the way it was done with like for the like 5 seconds he was on screen with John Krasinski, the stretching's not that bad. People need to
No.
stop. That excuse has holds no water.
No, it doesn't. It
It's not
doesn't.
awkward. It's not. It's
Plus,
just
plus
doing
as a like, if Kamala Khan actually had her powers as like, given her how she is as a person, how as a character, it would have been
it. Yeah.
way more interesting. There would have been way more things that they could have done with her, and I think it came down to the Fantastic Four thing, but I think it also came down to budget constraints. Because like if you could really do it like how you should do her powers, then
I
she would.
almost feel like that's less of a budget constraint. Because here's the
Cause
thing,
like cause
stretching can actually be done practically as well.
yeah, cause she
For
could have
instance,
did
with
the
like camera lenses and like minimal CGI.
yeah she
And
could have
even
did the
prosthetics,
embiggen
oh,
thing. Like if she could have did the embiggen thing, or she could have like made like a giant like did basically one everything that Kamala Khan was
One
doing.
Piece.
You could have they did in One Piece. Like
Yeah.
you could have done that, and like it would have been fine. You know what I'm saying? And so they just chose not to do that for whatever reason. And a lot of people are still like, I mean, people have gotten over it, but it's still one of those
Well,
things. It's
yeah, no,
like,
because now they've changed in the comics, but it's like that's the most annoying part. Is like the comics are being dictated by the movies,
yep,
which is weird because the movies only exist because of the comics.
exactly.
It's like you only put
Back to what I
Felicity
said
Smollett on the
before.
big
Like,
screen because she is a character in the comics. It's like you want to take that, and they say, okay, well, and honestly, I almost wonder too, like, what is the vested interest of them being reflected back in the comics after they made the change in the movie? Because you don't give any credence, you don't give any value to the comics. So what's the point of them changing it?
right? Yeah, cause like, and that's the thing. It's so weird when you got stuff like that. Because yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, like the movies dictate the comics. You know what I'm saying? And
No. The comics
or that
dictate how the movie can start, and then the movie's like, okay, well now that we've arrived,
right.
let's set the announcement announcements and the celebration for us, all hail Hollywood has arrived. Now do that thing in the comics. Like, why?
Right.
Like,
Because
is it going to reciprocate back to you because
because
you decided what
ten
you were
percent of
doing?
the people who actually buy will 10% of the people will go and buy the comic. 10% of the people who see the movie will go and buy the comic, which I mean, yeah, 10% of the people who actually see the movie. I mean, that's still a lot, but at the same time, like, is it though? Because like, ultimately, when you change this, you're gonna like basically have to like, what are you gonna? Are you gonna stick with it? Like, is it gonna be something that like is gonna have some weight and some value? Because from what I understand, like especially with Kamala Khan, like I haven't read any of the X Men books, but like I know she died and then came back
Yeah,
as a
she's
mutant.
back now, but yeah.
But like, are they gonna mess around and turn her into Jean Grey and then she's gonna die every other week? Or like, because you don't want to tell like a compelling story with her, So I don't know, cause like
To
I
be
feel
honest, I haven't really been following the X Men either. Like, even with all the Hickman stuff, I've just kind of been like, I honestly haven't read any of like Hawks or Pox. I just been like getting my information fed to me from like other sources, which is kind of
yeah.
sad. It's not like how I want to absorb comics, like even just
No, I'm the
getting the
same way.
know-how.
I'm the
But
same way.
overall,
Rob has been
for
my
me, it's
cheat
not
source.
something that like it hasn't been something where it's like it's really compelled me to like, okay, I really want to go buy these series that's going on because I like the idea of like something going somewhere, but with this kind of stuff, it's very like okay, there are ends, there are like okay with this direction, but at the same time, it kind of feels like it's something different than like a serialization of like a series,
Right.
if that makes sense. Like that's the reason why I still to this day like love and cherish like the idea of like the Saturday morning cartoon stretch of things. Like every episode of like the Spider-Man series, the '90s like series, even though like you look back on it and see okay that's kind of cringe, like the production level was kind of weird. That series was still banging because like it felt like villain of the week. It's fun stories that like obviously had a lot of melodrama in it, but still interesting enough. Whereas like X Men, it feels like okay, it's this kind of sprawling event within like a weekly series, but
Right.
then like it just kind of goes in another direction like every single time, versus kind of feeling like something like cohesive but still new and fresh. If that makes sense. I
Yeah.
kind of want X Men to go back to like the old model, but obviously with that, that's problems kind of carried over. Obviously, I don't know how they're gonna bring the X Men into like the MCU, but once they do, we'll finally figure out and they'll kind of make it known how and what kind of X Men we're gonna have. Are we gonna have classic, bigoted, racism X Men, which that's what the majority of people know them as, or this new era of like seeing X Men as something like other than outside of that. They're just different, but it's like then where's like the overall plot and plight? Because that was the big thing that the X Men separated themselves from the rest of the Marvel universe is the fact that they were hated on because they had powers. Well, look,
Right.
Mr. Fantastic's powers. Well, I don't know. He's kind of cute, I guess, and so is Johnny Storm, and I don't like the whole family angle. It just makes no sense. Like that's obviously the joke nowadays, and millennials make those jokes. Obviously now, kind of like realizing that like years later. But yeah, like Captain America and Wolverine should be able to stay in the same space and not have anything different said about them. Obviously, Wolverine's a little different because like one is obviously just like this like insanely like crazed like animal, disgusting short man with knives out of his wrist, but still, Captain America can basically punch a hole in your chest.
Right. Right. Also, something I realized, and like I was watching this girl's video, and basically she was talking about America Chavez, like in the books how she's more of an analog to, because I never read America Chavez books or anything with her in it. Like she's more of like an analog to being the next Captain America as opposed to what they did with her in the movies. You know what I'm saying?
I guess maybe.
I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what was news to me. It was like,
Just because she has like a star on her chest.
no, I think it's
and
it's
America's in her name.
I think it's because like for the most part she's kind of a tank. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, cause
Yeah.
she's got like heightened durability, all this other shit, and all that stuff. So, but she's like, I don't. But I was like, okay, I never heard that, but also never heard that she. I wasn't aware if she led a team or not. You know what I'm saying? So, because if she led a team, then I guess that could be a thing. If she led like the Young Avengers at one point, but I don't think she has because I thought that when they did Young Avengers, it was what's the name that was doing that?
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, was either
You talking about Elijah Bradley or
yeah,
not
either
Elijah
Elijah
Bradley?
Bradley or Kate Bishop. Like one of those people were actually leading the Young Avengers teams, and like
I honestly thought it was Kamala. Like I thought she was
well,
like the
Kamala
person.
like in the all new, all different like era, it was Kamala Khan. Like
Yeah.
she did yeah, she did like lead the Young Avengers. So yeah. So she did do that, but like you know what I'm saying? Like it just all depends. Like for the most part, I know it's often like before Kamala Khan, it was definitely Isaiah Bradley that or what's his face that
Patriot.
Patriot that did it. But apparently America Chavez like was on the team, but I think she was just the muscle on the team. She was a muscle on the team along with Hulkling. So
Yeah. Which man, Hulkling just like totally faded into the background. I haven't heard anything about him at all.
mhm. So yeah, like, and I think but I think Hulkling is and it's really
Wait, hold on. You mean like Amadeus Cho, or are you talking
no,
about actual Hulk?
I think actual Hulkling.
Okay.
Like Hulkling is faded in the background because yeah, everybody is like if they talk about
Wait,
any
hold
other
on. Because like
Hulks,
when you say Hulk, because like Hulkling is like the green guy who's like kind of got that weird like plated skin. He's like I guess in a relationship with like
yeah,
Wiccan. You talking about
Teddy
him?
Teddy Kaplan Altman,
Okay, yeah, okay,
yeah,
all right. Just make sure. Yeah.
yeah. I got the Wikipedia up right now, but like yeah, so he was the one that was he's like kind of faded in the background, and I don't think I think this is gonna be weird because like obviously like when people think of like the next generation of Hulk, they always think of Amadeus Cho. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, that's the thing. Like going back to that, like I haven't heard him like in any book
no,
at all. Like in the last like 4 years.
yeah, that's that is true. So I don't know. That's a that's a good question. Like I don't know what's up with that, but let's
What's
see.
up with that? Yeah, I don't know.
Ah, this is my damn luck. What's the problem? I borrowed money for debt, but I lost. And the guy took my truck. Can you get it back for me?
I'll get it back for you.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I'll make it worth your while.
By the way, which page are you working on right now?
I've been going back and forth between 6 and 7.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes I bounce around after like when I've been working on a page for a while. Sometimes it's like easy for me to kind of bounce around and do something different.
Whoops. There is that. Turn back around, yeah. Oh, really? How do I get out there? Oh, okay. That's how we do it. Bam.
Ah, you got it. How'd you convince him to give it back?
I improvise.
Give me a call if you need something.
Do 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 do. Oh man. But yeah, I definitely hope I get into like I think since it's February now, like we should be getting the stuff with like uh certain events like DreamCon and stuff like that. Like I should be getting like those messages back pretty soon. Okay.
Oh, right, all right, all right. You want to fight? You look like you might survive a couple of rounds. The excellent, great shit. My man, very happy.
Oh shit. Charles got disconnected. And I'm here by my lonesome and no one told me.
My bad, man.
Okay. I was wondering like what
Yeah,
happened.
like my phone is done.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened. I looked up and like I was like, "Oh snap, where'd he go?"
Now there's some really bad echo going on.
Oh really? Yeah, let me turn this down a little bit here. Okay. Still got to figure out like fully the audio issue.
Yeah,
Cause
I
like,
don't know, like it's really weird because like since I don't have any like other, yeah, that's weird. Like I don't know why it's that bad of like an echo.
so is it echo on your side?
Well, I don't not on my side. I just keep hearing you repeat.
Hmm. You don't have any you don't have any like other instances of like the stream up, do you?
No, I don't. Only
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay. Hmm. I wonder why that is. Yeah, cause like yeah, cause like I think that I don't know what caused that. Cause it's not on my end. and like I've like got pretty much everything else turned down. So I'm not sure.
I mean, do you hear that echo by the way, or
No, I don't hear it.
oh, you don't hear it? Okay, wow.
No. Yeah, I don't.
It's funny, like a couple people on Instagram can hear it. DJ can hear it. Hey, let me back out. Let me come back in.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Better yet, send me an invite.
Invite
Because
on what's his face on Twitch.
yeah, on Twitch. Yeah, I'm back out. Just send me an invite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boop 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 boop. Let's try this again. Go. Mm. We got like 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes.
Message from Charles Stewart. 3 sent the invite.
Hmm. All right. Cancel invite. All right. So. Zoo 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 zoo.
All right.
Okay.
How's that?
Test two. Test two. Yo yo. How like is it still coming? Is it still like an echo or what?
It is, but honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna whatever. As
Okay.
long as you're good on your end, as long as like the stream is
Yeah, I'm
good.
good on my end. I only thing I could think is like um somehow it's like it's coming back on your end. So when you have your audio playing, is it playing through just like a speaker or do you have like headphones on? So because that's the only thing I could think is like because maybe that might be the thing is like
The
when you're
speaker of my phone. That's it.
okay. So I wonder if at some point you like if you got like a Bluetooth earbud or something like that, and like
No.
okay, see if you did something like that, that would be the only thing I could think that would be the
Okay,
difference.
so I just think I figured out what was going on.
What's up?
Okay, are we in the live chat right now, or are
Yeah,
we
we're in the
still?
live right now. Well, wait, hold up. We're not.
Okay.
My bad. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right, so now we're in the live. Like now it's on the live stream again. So on
Okay,
Twitch.
that's better. And I don't know because like this didn't happen before, but I realized it's like a third screen. So like what I see is like my screen,
Mm-hmm.
your screen is pointing at your face, and then I see the live video So
Yeah,
that's what I did. But it's really weird because I don't ever remember having to do this before. We never had this problem.
yeah.
Weird.
Sometimes you have to do that, like, cause I know I'll have on my end, like, basically, like, I'll have like the live stream up, like, on the Twitch channel, but I have to make sure it's muted on the Twitch channel. So,
Yeah.
and I just use that mainly just to monitor the chat, like, so I'm not like looking over. I'm not looking over, like, next to next to anybody, or like next to, like, I have to look over to another screen to, like, to see,
Oh,
like, the
that's
chat. So boom,
yeah.
there we go.
I guess I'm so used to that, especially with like what I'm doing on Instagram as well.
Right.
Man, I don't know. I kind of feel weird. Like maybe I've just really fallen off, but I haven't like gotten my numbers up at all back with like the Instagram live.
Yeah.
And I guess also because I haven't been posting in a while, so I guess that's probably gonna hurt me a little. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I haven't posted a lot on Instagram either, like, in the last couple of weeks. So, like, I do stories, like, periodically when I remember it, but, like,
Yeah.
I think my follower count is, like, falling off tremendously. So yeah, that's like a big thing. But also, I'm one thing I'm starting to do is, like, I'm gonna start, like, using this site called Behance, like, for when I submit to conventions, and, like, just because, like, my Instagram is kind of stagnant, and like it only has, like, a certain number of things on it, like, as far as, like,
Yeah.
scrap. There's, like, scrap, and then there's, like, a couple of random posts that are related to scrap, but, like, there's nothing that, like, directly highlights stuff. And so I've been thinking about, like, really trying to, like, make a more official site, you know, and, like, basically trying to, like, make sure that when I submit to conventions, I give them the more official site, because I don't have one officially, and
Yeah.
I've said officially a lot. So there's that. By the way, Instagram.com/scrap comic official. Yeah, there's a trifecta. All right, but yeah, no, that's the big thing, is, like, I need to kind of, like, more cultivate the look. You know what I mean? So for you, Charles, like, when you submit to conventions, like, do you actually, like, have, like, a portfolio site that you use, or do you use, like,
All
your
I do is like I'll just say this, and like I don't know how it works for everybody else, but all I know is this: I haven't like done anything tremendously different from what I've done like the past years. All I've done is like put in my URL for my what is it, ArtStation portfolio.
right?
That's it. Yeah, just that's the main portfolio. And I need to actually update that because I feel like that really is reflected poorly that I haven't updated that in a while, especially the projects I've worked on in more recent years. Obviously, with like Scrap and Shadow Agency, and even also the DC projects I've worked on, that still counts. But basically, that's all I upload, and I like everything else they ask for, such as like what is it called, social media and all that stuff. I upload that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though, and like I don't know if this is like 100% true, but I believe at least, you know, like in conventions that we apply for, they do favor the people who obviously have published work with like any like big press, whether it's like obviously big
Right.
two, then going down from there like Zenescope, um, Dark Horse, all that stuff,
Right.
Oni Press, whatever. Because like they have those that question is specifically for a reason. They want to see like, do you have any published work? Because if you're gonna get a table, they usually want a good majority of people who attract a name or attract a crowd.
Right.
That's basically what they're asking. So it's like the fact that like, because I'm trying to think like, I've been to C2E2 before at a table prior to, you know, this past year that we went, but it's only because I got in based off of like being with a fellow friend of mine, like a colleague who was when I was back in Minnesota, because again they got published, like
Right.
they had worked with like Zenescope and Oni Press, so it's like, you know, and they've been around for like a while, so like they kind of got that going on for them as far as like recurring people.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, before I forget, because I don't want to get too much a tangent, but as I'm thinking about it, that's the same thing
Yeah.
They said they actually gave me an email saying, yeah, you were rejected, blah blah blah, and that's fine. The thing about it, what they said was that yeah, because we have like a kind of a premium on like people who are at the convention, they can come back as returning guests if they pay for the table right then and there at the show. And I was
Right.
like, I get that because that's what Baltimore is, and I appreciate that because I've been in Baltimore for years, and for
Mhm.
me, I know like you had a specific experience there, but it's been like one of my best shows up until like I started going to like Emerald City, Chicago, and New York.
Right.
With that said, it does pose kind of like a unfair advantage. It's like, well, what if I don't get in the show? Well, we can always keep applying for next year. But it's like, okay, we'll say you do finally get in. If you want to continue getting in, then yeah, you take advantage of that ability to pay for your table for that next year right then and there. And I
Right.
was like, oh wow. But then I thought about it, I said, oh man, it's like if I want to get in the show that I'm not at, I have if I'm not accepted already. Oh, and another thing too was Orlando. MegaCon has that approach too.
Yeah.
People are at MegaCon like this. I think it's this weekend coming up already. And yeah, I'm like, man, I would love to be there, but it's like, one, it's already like a high scale of competition to get in, curated, and that's to be expected.
Mhm.
Two, you literally have people who've been there for like 10 years who just like repeat like, okay, get my table for next year. So
Right.
it's kind of a hard nut to crack.
Yeah.
But once you get in, I guess that's the point I was gonna say. Once you get in, then you're in. I kind
Right.
of feel like, especially again, not saying that like I'm anything special, but it's like being able to have like that DC credit really kind of helps, or helps me. And I think also too another thing is that I'm trying to continue to build connections like with the people who run these shows
Yeah.
because the people who run like CCBC are the same people who run Emerald City, who obviously run
New York
Emerald. So
Comic
it's
Con.
like building like a rapport with them as well. I think can be helpful.
Right. Yeah, and so like that's a big thing. Like, um, I have a friend of mine like that I've been talking to on like a regular basis, and she is she's like a prominent cosplayer like in the region. You know what I'm saying? Like in like Cincinnati, so
Yeah.
or not Cincinnati, but just like the Midwest region, because like pretty much most of the Midwest conventions, like the anime conventions, she's like been a judge, a cosplay judge at. You know what I'm saying? So, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like the majority of those conventions, she's been like there, and so it's it's one of those things where like I'm probably gonna try to talk to her like because I asked her about this it's this convention in Columbus called OhioCon, and I asked her about that, and she's like, yeah, I know the people that run it. Like if you would have talked to me, I could have got you in there. I could have got you like ahead of the line. And I was like, damn, like I didn't even know, like you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna like try to lean on her like in the future as far as like a lot of conventions in the region and see if I can't get like you know, just some people to talk to me a little bit more and like get me, in those spaces. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's worth a shot. You know what I mean? So, I think I think I am gonna try that. Also, Squigs, it's cool, man. I appreciate you still stopping by. Um, you know, but but yeah, like I think I'm gonna try to do that though. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what's up and see if I can like make it happen.
No,
Uh,
definitely.
hey, awesome.
Hey DJ, you still there? Not sure if you're still on stream or not, but oh, you are. As you just made a comment, it's like, are there any cons you're still waiting to hear back from? Yeah, I mean, I think like only certain amount of cons you can like hear back from in advance, like after like you've already applied for them, because like there's actually a couple like some of the cons that like I'm looking forward to applying to haven't either like opened their applications yet. Like I want to apply to both Dragon Con and Heroes Con. Like those are the two that I would love to see if I could stack up against those and actually get in for a first time, but also like see how I do with them. But those aren't like open for like a while. So, but I'm like steadily checking. Like I literally have like my browser on my phone to where I literally have in order like by chronological dates which cons I want to actually hit up. And so far I have 10 open. So I have like Emerald City, C2E2. I'm also going to like I already got into Awesome Con, which I debated whether I wanted to do that or not this year because last year I didn't feel like I had that good of a turnout. But I'm gonna try it one more year and see how it fares out. So there's yeah Emerald City, Awesome Con, C2E2. I was hoping to get into Galaxy Con for Richmond to see if I could also set that up, but that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
So I guess technically nine now. And then there's BlurCon. There's hopefully DreamCon.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
what
BlurCon and
what's the
DreamCon
other
are
one?
like those are the two. I'm hoping that I get them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If I get those, like I can build around everything else. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But yeah, BlurCon and DreamCon are the ones like towards in the middle, like the summer time. And
yeah.
then also like yeah, Heroes Con I think is around there. So like Heroes Con and Dream or Heroes Con and Dragon Con are the ones that I'm hoping to see like how I stack up as far as like, applying to that. And then lastly, towards the end is obviously Baltimore and New York. So yeah, those are the cons that like I'm eyeing this year. And like I say to most people too, when they ask like which cons you hit up, they're cons that like I kind of like do my research and kind of figure out like is there an audience here that I could like appeal to and sell stuff to? Because that's ultimately what I'm there for, is like to promote and sell.
Right.
Mainly to sell, but like through that promoting and then also like yeah, just kind of building the fan base. And I'm grateful for the people that over the years who like have rolled with me. It's like, oh yeah, you were at this convention, you're here this year again, so I'm really looking forward to getting commission from you. So like repeat customers and just repeat audience who really supports your art and your storytelling.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answered your question, DJ.
Hmm. Bang, bang, bang. Trash.
Yeah, that was perfect. Thanks. You're welcome, man. Yeah, well, I've been man saying DJ like I told you this before, but man, you definitely gotta come out to some of these other shows if you get a chance. I know sometimes scheduling doesn't always work out, but yeah, some of these other shows like have some really good potential. I think for other independent creators.
Yeah, they do. Like, it's a big thing, man. Like, once you and plus you get to see like in real time like the people who are attracted to your book. That's like a big thing, you know. Do 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 do. All right, looks like we got like 2 minutes. So,
For sure.
so if you want to go ahead and call it, man, I'm game. Cause you know what I'm getting ready to do.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, I'm definitely, yeah. DJ said at the end, it's like, yeah, that's the best part, seeing people interact with the book. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it really
Not only
is.
that, I was looking forward to more, so that's why looking forward to Shadow Agency finally getting fully colored and getting ready to get lettered and go to the printers, and obviously that's why I'm excited for continuing to work on scrap and getting these pages over to the colorists and going from there. But all in all, thank you guys for like who've participated in watching the stream, who've tuned in, who chimed in and chatted. Thank y'all so much. I'm about to sign off myself, but I hope y'all have a great night. And
Indeed.
yeah, we'll definitely see y'all on other Thursdays coming on the stream.
Yes, sir.
So thank y'all so much, and we will see y'all later.
All right, y'all. Peace, peace.